Hi friends! Today I went to the library. I've been on this crazy sponge spree where my brain just wants to absorb as much as I can, and a lot of it is surrounding the sacred feminine, divine feminine, goddess, animal, all kinds of sacred geometry, all kinds of stuff, magical stuff. Today I got this. It's totally rocking my world right now, and I just want to read some of it because it's just hitting a chord with me, and I feel like whoever might be following my videos, might be going through some of the same stuff, so I feel like it's valuable. So, where do I want to start? So, little foreground. This is called Women Who Run with the Wolves, right? So it's written by this amazing woman who has been all over the world, and she has crazy doctorates, and she's amazing. And the whole book is, in essence, stories and myths and tales about the wild woman, which are meant to help evoke it within you and call her in and bring her into your life, which is cool. But this is her introduction, and this is the part that I'm in and just wanted to share. So, talking about a lot of things, but go. The comprehension of this wild woman nature is not a religion but a practice. It is a psychology in its truest sense. Psyche, soul. Ology, or logos, a knowing of the soul. Without her, women are without ears to hear her soul talk or to register the chiming of their own inner rhythms. Without her, women's inner eyes are closed by some shadowy hand, and the large parts of their days are spent in semi-paralyzing ennui, or else wishful thinking. Without her, women lose the sureness of their soul footing. Without her, they forget why they're here. They hold on when they would best hold out. Without her, they take too much or too little or nothing at all. Without her, they are silent when they are in fact on fire. The wild woman is their regulator. She is their heart, the same as the human heart that regulates the physical body. When we lose touch with the instinctive psyche, we live in a semi-destroyed state, and images and powers that are natural to the feminine are not allowed to full development. When a woman is cut away from her basic source, she is sanitized, and her instincts and natural life cycles are lost, subsumed by the culture or by the intellect or the ego, one's own or those belonging to others. Wild woman is the health of all women. Without her, women's psychology makes no sense. This wilder woman is the prototypical woman. No matter what culture, no matter what era, no matter what politics, she does not change. Her cycles change, her symbolic representations change, but in essence, she does not change. She is what she is, and she is whole. She canalizes through women. If they are suppressed, she struggles upward. If women are free, she is free. Fortunately, no matter how many times she is pushed down, she bounds up again. No matter how many times she is forbidden, quelled, cut back, deluded, tortured, touted as unsafe, dangerous, mad, and other derogations, she emanates upward in women, so that even the most quiet, even the most restrained woman keeps a secret place for wild woman. Even the most repressed woman has a secret life, with secret thoughts and secret feelings which are lush and wild, that is, natural. Even the most captured woman guards the place of wildest self, for she knows intuitively that someday there will be a loophole, an arbiter, a chance, and she will hightail it to escape. I believe that all women and men are born gifted. However, truly, there has been little to describe the psychological lives and the ways of gifted women, talented women, creative women. There is, on the other hand, much writ about the weakness and foibles of humans in general, and women in particular. But in the case of the wild woman archetype, in order to fathom her, apprehend her, utilize her offerings, we must be more interested in the thoughts, feelings, and endeavors which strengthen women and adequately count the interior and cultural factors which weaken women. In general, when we understand the wildest nature as being in its own right, one which animates and informs a woman's deepest life, then we can begin to develop in ways that never thought possible. A psychology which fails to address this innate spiritual being at the center of feminine psychology fails women and fails their daughters and their daughters' daughters far into all future matrilineal lines. So, in order to apply good medicine to the hurt parts of the wildish psyche, in order to right a relationship to the wild woman, one has to name the disarrays of the psyche accurately. While in my clinical profession we do have a good diagnostic statistical manual and a goodly amount of differential diagnosis, as well as the psychoanalytic parameters, which define psychopathy through the organization, or lack of it, in the objective psyche and the ego self-axis. There are yet other defining behaviors and feelings which, from a woman's frame of reference, powerfully describe what is the matter. What are some of the feeling, tone, symptoms of a disrupted relationship with the wildish force in the psyche? To feel, think, or act in any of the following ways is to have partially severed or lost entirely the relationship with the deep instinctual psyche. Using women's language exclusively, these are feeling extraordinarily dry, fatigued, frail, depressed, confused, gagged, muzzled, unaroused, feeling frightened, halt, or weak, without inspiration, without animation, without soulfulness, without meaning, shame-bearing, chronically fuming, volatile, stuck, uncreative, compressed, crazed, feeling powerless, chronically doubtful, shaky, blocked, unable to follow through, giving one's creative life over to others, life-sapping choices in mates, work, or friendships, suffering to live outside of one's own cycles, overprotective of self, inert, uncertain, faltering, inability to pace oneself or set limits, not insistent on one's own tempo, to be self-conscious, to be away from one's god or gods, to be separated from one's revivification, drawn far into domesticity, intellectualism, work, or inertia, because that is the safest place for one who has lost her instincts. To fear to venture by oneself, or to reveal oneself, fear to seek mentor, mother, father, fear to set out on one's imperfect work before it is an opus, fear to set out on a journey, fear of caring for another or others, fear one will run out, run on, run down, cringing before authority, loss of energy before creative projects, wincing, humiliation, angst, numbness, anxiety, afraid to bite back when there is nothing else left to do. Afraid to try the new, fear to stand up, afraid to speak up, speak again, sick stomach, butterfly, sour stomach, cut in the middle, strangled, becoming conciliatory or nice to easily revenge. Afraid to stop, afraid to act, repeatedly counting to 3 and not beginning, superiority complex, ambivalence, and yet otherwise fully capable, fully functioning. These severances are a disease, not of an era or a century, but become an epidemic anywhere and anytime women are captured, anytime the wildest nature has become entrapped. A healthy woman is much like a wolf, robust, chock-full, strong life force, life-giving, territorially aware, inventive, loyal, roving. Yet separation from the wildest nature causes a woman's personality to become meager, thin, ghostly, spectral. We are not meant to be puny, with frail hair and inability to leap, inability to chase, to birth, to create a life. When women's lives are in stasis, it is always time for the wildish woman to emerge. It is time for the creating function of the psyche to flood the delta. How does wild woman affect women? With wild woman as ally, as leader, model, teacher, we see not through 2 eyes, but through the eyes of intuition, which is many-eyed. When we assert intuition, we are therefore like the starry night. We gaze at the world through 1,000 eyes. The wild woman carries the bundles for healing. She carries everything a woman needs to be and know. She carries the medicine for all things. She carries stories and dreams and words and songs and signs and symbols. She is both vehicle and destination. To adjoin the instinctual nature does not mean to come undone, change everything from left to right, from black to white, to move east to west, to act crazy or out of control. It does not mean to lose one's primary socializations or to become less human. It means quite the opposite. The wild nature has a vast integrity to it. It means to establish territory, to find one's pack, to be in one's body with certainty and pride, regardless of the body's gifts and limitations. To speak and act in one's behalf, to be aware, alert, to draw on the innate feminine powers of intuition and sensing. To come into one's cycles, to find what one belongs to rise with dignity, to retain as much consciousness as we can. The archetype of the wild woman and all that stands behind her is patroness to all painters, writers, sculptors, dancers, thinkers, prayer makers, seekers, finders, for they are all busy with the work of invention, and that is the wild woman's main occupation. As in all art, she resides in the guts, not in the head. She can track and run and summon and repel. She can sense, camouflage, and love deeply. She is intuitive, typical, and normative. She is utterly essential to the woman's mental health and soul health. So what is the wild woman? From the viewpoint of archetypal psychology, as well as from the storytelling tradition, she is the female soul. Yet she is more. She is the source of the feminine. She is all that is of instinct, of the world both seen and hidden. She is the basis. We each receive from her a glowing cell which contains all the instincts and knowings needed for our lives. She is the life, death, life force. She is the incubator. She is the intuition. She is the far seer. She is deep listener. She is loyal heart. She encourages humans to remain multilingual, fluent in the languages of dreams, passions, and poetry. She whispers from night dreams. She leaves behind on the terrain of women's souls a coarse hair and muddy footprints. These fill women with longing to find her, free her, and love her. She is ideas, feelings, urges, and memories. She has been lost and half forgotten for a long, long time. She is the source, the light, the night, the dark, and daybreak. She is the smell of good mud and the back leg of the fox. The birds which tell us secrets belong to her. She is the voice that says, "This way, this way." She is one who thunders after injustice. She is the one who turns like a great wheel. She is the maker of cycles. She is the one we leave home to look for. She is the one we come home to. She is the mucky root of all women. She is the things that keep us going when we think we're done for. She is the incubator of raw little ideas and deals. She is the mind which thinks like us. We are the thoughts that she thinks. Where is she present? I'm going to pause here because I'm going to run out of time. I might continue. This has moved me tremendously. I don't know about you, but these are feelings that I have felt deep in my being for many, many years, and I am only just beginning to scratch the surface of discovering my wild woman, the wild woman that runs and courses through the veins of all of us. So I love you very much. I hope this inspires you, and maybe grab her book. It's by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, Ph.D. Till next time.